Okay, hello. I haven't made a video for a little while. That's because I'm really stressed out about a couple of projects I'm working on. One in, I should tell you, been in Rwanda. That's pretty cool. And I've been in Bangladesh. Who cares? You don't give a crap, I am. Now, what I'm going to do right now is sometimes, first of all, there are going to be a whole bunch of videos, a whole lot of videos on how to take a project finance model that you made for financing and convert it into a model that you can use on an ongoing basis. And what that requires is establishing a history, putting potentially updating the model with new history as you experience costs and production and everything else. And I think there are a lot of interesting issues on that. Um, well, I'll make graphs and automatically put the history and everything else. Now, today I'm going to do something simpler. When I add a DCF model or a financing model to an existing model, sometimes you might want to use an existing template. This is not supposed to be that good a template or anything else, but when you add it, there might be some links that you have. So let's show you how to get rid of the links. What you can do, and it's a much easier macro than I thought. Now, the first thing I did is I went to the generic macros. And first of all, I put in some of the macros that really, so I'll upload this, some of the macros that are really kind of helpful. This one takes away the, if you have a sheet name in a formula that's the same as the sheet name you're on, what a waste, because you did kind of a wiper method and went between sheets. This takes it away. This deletes all the columns. This takes away that irritating thing in Excel where you put a percent in and then want a regular number and it keeps going. And then this for me is really helpful to find the number of rows, active rows or columns in a sheet. And that's what we're going to do. And then I have some simple macros, very simple macros. So I'm hoping to document our analysis just a little bit better now. What we're going to do, I just made a macro and it was for once easier than I thought. I don't know if I'm going to make it again or show it to you. Perhaps I'll just go through it. So if we want to do this, the first thing we do is we use these find rows and find columns. This is just calling a macro called find rows and find columns. This is in the generic macros, okay? And you have to have some public things, okay? And I haven't really documented this much, but this is the maximum rows to test. And this is the starting row, and then you go through each row and you test whether there's something in that row. If there's, you know, nothing in the row, it goes around and then it kind of goes until it finds the end, and then it gives you the maximum row. And this does the same thing for the columns. So this is the maximum columns to test. And then these are really helpful because it gives you the rows and the columns. Now this looks like a long program, but it's really easy. One of the most helpful things to do really is to work through rows and columns and go through each cell. And if you limit it, here this is going to limit the rows and the columns. That's why just showed you. So you go to the maximum row and the maximum column. You go around. And then you define a cell string using the cells command, row and column, and you put dot formula and it gives you the string. Then you find the length of the string, and then you go through each character in that string. So this is cell character to cell length. It goes from the beginning to the end, and then to find each character you just use the mid function, which says this is the length of the character and this is each character. And then you say, well, if it's got a little bracket, that means it's whatever. It's a link because they always have a bracket. Now, then, if you're going to go to a link, then just go down to the format, and when you're finished with the format, you better go back to the resume the search. So this just puts all that silly this puts all that silly crap, about making a whatever. You know what I mean. You just record a macro and you put some bolds and some stuff around it and all that. And then once you've found that, you go to the next one, and then this should really resume after it, shouldn't it? Okay. So let's see if it works. Okay, so we press, if you want to use one of these other macros in the generic macro. Now what, I didn't mean to do that. What did I do? See, I find links, I think. I called it find links. So you just find it and run it. And then what it did is it went and it's going around and it found all the links. Okay? And I guess it's taking a little longer than I thought. Okay, the last time I did it, I think I went through too many rows and columns. Let me put a limit on this. It kind of stopped. And you can see it's just going on finding these now. And it should kind of go and say what row and column you're on, and then we're going to be finished. And that's the end of the video.